Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Manuel Mütki, aka MNL1337 for BluffTheSpot.com. And last weekend I was in Baden-Baden for 2 days again and playing cash game 10-20 and 5-10. And I have one very interesting hand I want to share with you and analyze it in great detail. But before we start the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. And let's go! Okay, this time I have another Airbnb. This one is in a hotel. Pretty small and definitely not good.
See you, hotel. I will miss you.
Only bathroom is okay. That's quite big and new. Everything looks good. But I opened this one. It's a minibar and it's very smelly. And also, if you look at the walls, very dirty everywhere. There. The mirror looks stupid. Yeah, and smelly. And who did this construction here? You have sheets, but you cannot cover the window. So it will be very bright in the morning. And this time, because I have a little allergy, I have my own pillow. I mean, this was one of the cheapest rooms around the casino. I booked it over Airbnb, but it's a hotel. So I did not know really that there are also hotels on Airbnb. And so at the check-in, I had to manually check in, which is annoying, and I had to fill out paperwork, which is very usual in Germany. Yeah, and there is no kitchen, but I knew this, of course. I don't really need a kitchen for one day. All in all, I will definitely not book this one again. Of course, I prepared some snacks, strawberries, and also have lunch for tomorrow, and now I make a little nap. Okay, ready to go! So the weekend was quite nice. I ended up winning 5,000 euro. But the only problem is I only booked one night for the Airbnb and checkout was 11 in the morning. So on Saturday I checked out in the morning 11 o'clock. And then I had to kill time till 8 o'clock in the evening till the game starts. So that was kind of annoying. Next time I have to figure out something different. Maybe another Airbnb or maybe I book one more night, whatever. And also I played 15 hours, I did not mention it. First day I won 5k, second day I won 40 euro. So there was one big hand I was unsure on every street basically. So I run the solver and make some sims, try to figure out what the best play is. So I will show this to you now. Okay, so the cutoff is a pretty good rec. I have some reads on him and he raises to 60. The button calls a little bit weaker player, a little bit looser, not too good. I'm in the small blind and I have 6-5 in clubs. So this can be a 3-bet, can also be called, maybe fold if you're pretty nitty, but I would not recommend that. So I decided to 3-bet, but I'm often also calling this hand. The blinds folds, the regular also then calls. So the button folds and we go heads up to the flop. The regular is a pretty loose player. He's pretty good. The reads on him I have, he's not 4-betting too much, so I would also see him calling ace-king there sometimes. Pocket jacks, he don't often 4-bet those hands, I think. We quickly go over the ranges we have. So this is the range I'm 3-betting in this spot, like all the strong pairs pretty much all the time. Ace-king, some suited broadways. And like these hands, these are a little bit grayer. These are just 50% of the time. And here's a suited connector. I just choose them 25% of the time, so not always 3-betting them. And let's look at the rack at his calling range. I gave him like calling range. He would call on the bottom because he's pretty loose. Pretty sure he calls all these hands sometimes or most of the times. Okay, so let's look at the solver here. You can see on the left side, starting pot is 36.5 and we are pretty deep. We have 400 effective stack, 400 big blind. So then you have some rake implementations and yeah, the bet size, I pre-calculated already quite a bunch of sizes and different strategies. And so here's my conclusion. If you look here on the top left, we have a bigger bet sizing for 75% pot size and the smaller bet sizing for 30% pot size. The check is missing. This is intentionally. I also calculated with the check, of course, and the solver only wanted to check like 10% of the time. So I decided to just leave it out and mostly I'm just betting my whole range for 1/3 here. This is a good simplification strategy. Okay, so we are on the flop and the flop is queen 5 deuce. And yeah, as I said, we mostly want to bet 1/3 here, or I want to do this. So if you look at the solver, he also want to have the big sizing and you immediately see the overpairs he likes to bet a little bit bigger, and also ace-king because it has 2 overcards and blocks ace-queen, king-queen probably. Our specific hand, we have 6-5 in diamonds. And you immediately see these hands he also want to overbet as kind of a semi-bluff. Of course, it has a good blocker. We are blocking queen 5 suited if he has this preflop. I don't think so. But pocket 5s we block. That's pretty good. Ace 5 suited, maybe king 5 suited. So that's in his calling range for the flop. Yeah, but I decided to bet small. And so we click here on the small bet and we see the regular should raise 15% of the time, but my read on him is also that he's not raising too much on the flop. I would expect maybe 5 to 10% raises from him. Yeah, more like 5% I think. He's usually not raising too much on the flop. He's playing post flop a little bit more passive and a little bit more pot controlled. And usually I think he tries to develop reads on later street to make better decisions, yeah, which is totally fine and he does it really well, I think. So he calls the flop. The turn is the 4 of clubs. So we have a gut shot now and still a pair. And because of my read on the flop, that he's not raising too much on the flop, his range on the turn is a little bit stronger. So I decided to check. And the solver wants to check 70% of the time here, which is quite a lot. I was a little bit surprised. And for the bets, he uses very different bet sizes. You see, he want to overbet, he want to bet small, he want to bet medium size here on the left. But mostly he want to bet big. So 20% of the time he's going pot size or 125% pot size, which makes sense when he's checking a lot. He want to polarize. And if you look at 5-6 exactly again, that's pretty much a hand he almost always want to bet and semi-bluff the hand. The same with 6-7, which is an open-ender now. 7-8 is a gut shot. So these hands make good bluffing hands for overbet sizing. Again, we block pocket 5s, which is pretty important and one of the strongest value hand. But we decided to check and we see villain should also check quite a lot, 62%. And our strategy, the rest, he should bet pretty big. As you see here, 21%, he want to bet 125% of the pot, but he checked in the specific hand. So we see a river. River was a king. King is yeah, not the best card, not the worst. He can have the king X in spades. King queen, he's checking on the turn quite a bit, I think. Hands like king 5 suited, king deuce suited maybe sometimes. Quite a bit value hands he can have. But also some bluffs, of course. Can turn a deuce into a bluff, or like pocket threes, or maybe the spade draws, of course, and 3-4 suited, which was an open-ender if he did not bluff them on the turn. So the river, I think my showdown value is quite good. Maybe he also have ace-jack or ace-king and checks them behind and I win. So there's a slight chance I'm winning here on showdown. So I did not see any urge to bluff the hand. So let's see what the solver wants to do. If we see here, we arrived to the river, very few combos of 6-5 we have on the river, because the solver wanted to bet them on the flop on the turn already, so it's only 0.06 combos, so basically nothing. So you see the bet size is mostly yellow, which you can see on the bottom. This is half pot sizing, so for whatever reason the solver wants to bet half pot here with this hand. I feel it's kind of strange. I don't know what he wants to accomplish with that. But in general, he wants to bet a lot, only check 35% of the time. And then again, use a lot of different sizes, mostly 1/3 for 30% of the time. And yeah, you can see here with different hands, he uses different strategies. So that's a little bit random. And I did not break it down to 1 or 2 bet sizes, which should make more sense here to have a strategy which you can actually apply. Yeah, but anyway, so we checked this hand, and now you see he also checks 50% behind, and for the rest he mostly bets 75% of the time. But in this hand he bet pot size. Now there was the difficult decision in the hand. I was feeling like I have a decent bluff catcher, and he certainly has a lot of bluffs here. As I mentioned before, the spades, 4-3 suited, and also some random floats like ace-10 in hearts, or like just jack-10 in hearts, or these hands. Or maybe he's bluffing with the deuce, yeah. So I think 6-5 is a decent bluff catcher, and the solver kind of disagrees. He wanted to fold the 6-5 here. But once again, it's only 0.001 combo, so basically, I'm not having this hand in my range when I use this action. So I was contemplating if 6-5 is a better bluff catcher on the river, or like a hand pocket 9s, pocket 10s I also have in this spot. And the solver likes the higher pairs a little bit more. So apparently the blocker effect is not really relevant, because probably villain does not have the 6-3, which is a straight, and did not check pocket 5s on the turn. So kind of makes sense to fold the 6-5 and call with more like these top pair, medium pairs. And yeah, let's see what you want to raise. The raising range is king queen, and as a bluff we can look at here raise. So some it even wants to raise ace queen as a bluff. And yeah, a lot of different hands he's raising as a bluff. Value hand, just king queen. So mostly he checks king queen and then raises them. And so I ended up calling. And what did he show? He showed, oh gosh, I forgot. He had me beat, of course. He showed up pocket kings, which was very surprising to me how he played it. Yeah, I also thought about bluff raising the river for a little bit, but I think my hand is not good enough as a bluff raise. Rather I want to have other hands, so good I did not do it. Yeah, he showed up pocket kings, which is very strange. He usually always want to bet the turn because he's not blocking a queen and he has a very strong value hand. So this was a little bit misplay by me.
pretty much on every street basically. Preflop is debatable, of course, I would say. But yeah, I was learning from this that these pairs plus gut shots are a good hand to turn into a bluff if we're deep. Yeah, it has a lot of equity, good blockers, so you certainly can overbet with this hand. And on this board, yeah, of course we also have some stronger value hands we wanna overbet.
That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Next video coming out in 2 weeks on Monday always. Sometimes a little bit late, but we try to do it on Monday. And see you.